on Monday. The jury trial, you're to be here at 7:45. That's when you're required to be here. The jury trial will start at 8 o'clock.
This is I object down to the violation of constitutional rights.
Okay, your
jurisdiction of the state cannot go forward unless jurisdiction is
your objection's overruled. Okay, we're going to have this trial, and this is your one and only warning. Okay, if you interrupt the trial by speaking out of turn, you're going to be removed down the hall.
Kenneth Hobbs appears before an Ohio court facing a jury trial, but the hearing quickly takes an unusual turn. Instead of accepting the court's identification of him as the defendant, Hobbs claims he is a living man separate from the person named in capital letters, and argues that the court lacks jurisdiction over him.
Kenneth Hobbs. State of Ohio plaintiff versus Kenneth Hobbs, defendant, in parentheses, a man. Attached to that is some document that's titled Flag of the Vessel, and another document of Ohio Department of Health Certificate of Life Birth. So, Mr. Hobbs, I want to address this with you. You indicate, well, the motion says, the body of the motion, now comes the defendant, a living man in special appearance, who asks this honorable court to grant said defendant to be the legal representative for the person named in the instrument as defendant Kenneth Hobbs. Due to lack of representation and disagreements with counsel, said defendant would like to represent the person named in all caps. Aren't you the person named in all caps?
Your Honor, you're on special appearance.
I know. Are you the person named in all caps?
I'm the representative of the person in all caps.
So you're not the person in all caps?
I'm the representative of.
Okay. So are you or are you not the person in all caps?
No.
You're not. Okay.
Right now,
let me finish. In no way do I give consent or jurisdiction in this case and request to move forward and challenge the alleged violations of the instrument the state has provided. Attached for the record is my certified and documented living man's document showing that the person charged is a living man representing the person in all caps and will be appearing to represent himself by way of duress and special appearance. So what do you mean appearing to represent himself? Is that you?
I'm representing the person in all caps. Okay. I'm a living person, living flesh and being person.
Right, but you're not the person in all caps?
Oh,
who's the person in all caps?
That's the entity of the corporation.
Okay, you can't.
Like to challenge
you're not. Hold on. You're not permitted to practice law. You're permitted to represent yourself. You're not permitted to practice law.
The Constitution says anybody without a bar can represent you.
Okay. Well, and I'm telling you that you cannot represent somebody unless you're a lawyer. So you can't represent yourself based on what you're telling me. You can't represent the person in all caps because you're not a lawyer unless you acknowledge that you are the person that's charged. You are the person in all caps.
I don't understand.
Well, you told me that you're here to represent the person in all caps, but you're not the person in all caps, that the person in all caps is the entity. Right?
No, I'd like to present my live birth certificate on the record. And
I already have it. It's already in the record. It's part of
this is my original copy, and I want to bring fraud into it because I'm really a beneficiary and I took these, so.
Okay, so you're not Kenneth Hobbs, the person in all caps that you represent.
That's the entity that I represent.
Okay, well, you're not going to be permitted to represent an entity. So Ms. Carroll is your lawyer.
The living live person is right here, Your Honor, and I put it on the record.
I understand, but I'm just going based on what you tell me. Okay, that you claim you are here to represent the person in all caps, and that you are not the person in all caps. That the person in all caps is a separate entity. Is that correct?
I don't understand. What I'm telling you, John, is I'm here to challenge jurisdiction of me to find out to have a state prove, you know what I'm saying, that I am the person in all caps, and that I'm not the living flesh man here and on his birth certificate.
So you're not the person listed in that birth certificate.
That's the entity listed in that birth certificate.
But it's not you.
The corporation. That's the corporation act.
Okay. So so that. You are here to represent that corporation represented in that living birth certificate.
I'm not here. I'm here to be a representative of the person in all caps. I'm here to represent myself as a flesh and blood person.
The turning point comes when the judge forces the argument into a simple question. Who exactly is Hobbs claiming to represent? As he continues insisting that the charged entity is separate from himself, the court makes clear that he cannot represent another legal entity without being an attorney, and the dismissal request is immediately denied.
And the person in all caps is the person charged with the offense, right?
I do not ask questions, Your Honor.
Huh?
I do not ask questions, Your Honor.
You didn't ask the question? What do you mean you didn't ask the question?
I'm not here to ask questions. I'm here to challenge the jurisdiction to see what jurisdiction the state has over me to prosecute this case.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to have a jury trial on Monday. Ms. Carroll is your representative.
Okay. I'd like to put it on the record for this case to be dismissed.
Okay. It's denied. That request is denied. So we're going to have a jury trial on Monday. The jury trial, you're to be here at 7:45. That's when you're required to be here. The jury trial will start at 8 o'clock.
I object on it as a violation of constitutional rights.
Okay, you're
trying to do a jurisdiction that the state cannot go forward unless jurisdiction is
right. Your objection was overruled. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, Mr. Hobbs, that once we start this jury trial, that if you speak out of turn during the course of this jury trial, okay, meaning the only time you're permitted to speak is if you speak discreetly with Miss Carroll at the table, without the jury hearing anything, or you testify. That's the only time you're permitted to speak when the jury's in the courtroom. Do you understand that?
correct.
Okay. If you speak out of turn during the course of the trial, then what I will do is send the jury out, have you removed to another smaller courtroom where you can watch the proceedings from there. You understand that?
Can the state prove, show the contract that I've signed or the injured party in this case or anything like that?
That's why we're going to have the trial. Okay. Do you understand?
I can't be an injured party.
You understand I'm not going to put up with any interruptions during the course of the trial. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? So you're nodding your head yes. Is that correct?
I'm ready to challenge the jurisdiction, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you understand that I'm not going to put up with any interruptions by you during the course of the trial?
Your Honor, once I stated that I'm the true living person in this case, and there's no injured party and there's no damage done or anything like that.
So
they had to prove beyond the preponderance of the jurisdiction. They have to.
Right. That's why we're having a trial. If they can't prove the jurisdiction, okay, then they can't prove the case. But that's why we have the trial.
And can I see the official seals and official
so here's
wedding on the signed documents?
Here's what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to have this trial. And this is your one and only warning. Okay, if you interrupt the trial by speaking out of turn, you're going to be removed down the hallway for the remainder of the trial where you can watch what goes on. But you won't be in here unless you testify. Do you understand that? And you're nodding your head yes.
Yes, Your Honor, but I have not signed any contract for a lawyer or to have someone appointed for me. I was trying to represent myself.
But
I was here to speak on that too.
But the problem is that you're not here to represent yourself. You're here to represent Kenneth Hobbs, all in caps, which is a separate entity from you, right?
Yes. Are we doing common law or this amnesty law?
Is that? Am I understanding this correctly?
Is this common? Are we practicing common law or are we practicing amnesty law?
We're not on a ship, so we're okay.
So we practicing common law.
So you cannot represent an entity, okay? And the fact that you're conducting yourself as you are right now tells me you don't understand the process and aren't competent to represent yourself. If you indicated that you were trying to represent yourself. So Ms. Carroll will be the lawyer come Monday. Okay? Is there anything else put on the record from the state?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Carroll?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right.
Not objective, Your Honor, but
With the jury trial set for Monday, the judge delivers a final warning. Any courtroom interruptions could lead to Hobbs being removed from the courtroom for the remainder of the proceedings. The court ultimately determines that his legal arguments show he does not understand the process well enough to represent himself, leaving appointed counsel to handle the trial.